Joining me now from Miami is Remi Piet. He's the research associate at Florida International University and is senior director at America's Market Intelligence. Sir, welcome to our show. I want to ask you about, first of all, the political side of this constitution. We heard about the term limits, the creation of a post of a prime minister, but Communist Party, on the other hand, will remain the cornerstone of the Cuban politics. How significant do you think is this new constitution regarding, in terms of politics in Cuba?
I mean, clearly this new constitution is making a lot of progress on the economic front, but on the political side, it's actually fairly limited. There is a creation of a new position of prime minister to be together with president, but even the president is not going to be elected with direct elections from the people, which is usually the norm on the Western Hemisphere. They actually fell short towards moving towards that specific reform. There's going to be 2 terms of 5 years for the new president, but he will still be elected by members of a Congress rather than to be elected directly from general elections. The Communist Party remains the only party accepted in those elections. So you do see that even if on the economic side there will be a series of different reforms, facilitating foreign investment, enshrining the private property of different of land and businesses. On the political side, that might have been an historical opportunity for more reforms which are yet to be seen in Cuba.
So you're saying that this is no universal suffrage, but rather the Congress will elect the leaders. Do you think that the Congress will be represented and elected by the grassroots in the universal suffrage?
Well, it's complicated to see. I mean, you still have a single-party system, so that actually limits potential political opposition in the island of Cuba. There will be is a step towards potentially the right direction in the sense that there will be 2 positions now in terms of president and prime minister, but you do not have pluralism of opinion. And we're seeing, up to this vote coming today, that the campaigning has been fairly limited with the impossibility of some of the outsider votes to position to be able to publicize their opinion through text messages. There have been some limitation in the capacity of having freedom of speech on that level. But that constitution, however, provides a series of very strong progress on the economic front for, and I'd say, in facilitating access to private property or facilitating also foreign investment, which is quite revolutionary for Cuba.
Yes, we heard those changes in the Constitution, like you mentioned, the recognition of private property. It says it welcomes foreign investment, but the state sector is set to be continue to be playing a major role in the Cuban economy. It sounds like China's reform dating back in the 70s, is it?
Yes, it's very similar indeed. I mean, you're actually showing a strong parallel here that you can actually point in the case of Cuba. The question will be, is that one step following, and then there will be further steps toward further, let's say, liberalization of the economy, because we're not seeing on the political side, or if it's just going to be a move that will enshrine a new constitution, a new order that actually will not be able to be challenged down the road. So that'd be very interesting to look at on that level. Indeed, state companies still have the upper end on a series of different sectors of the economy, but you have to keep in mind that right now you have the existence of a series of smaller private property initiatives that were actually unconstitutional because they would not fall into the 1979 Constitution. Now they actually are being regularized and legitimated by this new text, and also forcing and strengthening the fact that foreign investment and foreign property on the island will not be accepted, which is something that was absolutely not the case before that text.
Remi Piet from Florida International University, thanks so much for your insight.